It says going live. Are we live? If we are live, thank you guys for being here. Welcome to another episode of Courtney G's Spot. I was Courtney G. I appreciate you being here. We got so many people in the audience tonight. Got a line outside the door, like always, waiting to see us, ready to talk about some things tonight. We're going to talk about Labor Day tonight, the reason behind it, and we got some other goofy things we're going to talk about. We've been discussing UFOs, Bible. What else have we been talking about? All sorts of stuff. I keep looking over here because we got my co-host in the building, DC. What's up, DC?
What is going on, everybody? I hope you enjoyed your Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, most people are probably out on the lake right now, not paying attention to the live shows. Has nothing to do with it. You guys on the floaty rafts saying hi to us. That'd be appreciative. That'd be great.
That'd be legit. Give us a like.
Yeah, join the conversation next time. Be a part of us. Go live. Say something. Say hi. Be a part of the group. To build a community here of like-minded individuals that understand the balance of the world. If you've watched any of the shows before, you know there's like this weird theme. If you catch on to anything, we've got running jokes. We've got all sorts of stuff going. We see some people in the audience. Colin, I'm sure you're here. Like always, appreciated. Who else we got out there? Anybody? Say something. Like, subscribe, join the conversation. DC's back here making money. We like to go on for about an hour. It's a long time to talk, so I get it if you don't make it to the end. But if you want to be a part of this, we encourage the live portion. Randy, nice to see you here tonight. I know you're always working. She's usually doing something as she's not only being a mother, she's pregnant and working. So that is a plus to mothers and all pregos out there in the audience. So tonight we're going to just have some fun. It's like what we do. It's kind of the thing. We just kind of roll with it. It's random. Sometimes people walk in the door. Sometimes things happen. I hope the connection is good tonight, Randy. Randy, are we good on the connection? Last week we had a lot of problems. We probably lost a lot of interested people. We had 17 views on that mess up last week, but hopefully this week we are smooth like butter. We want to be in and out. Not in that sort of way, but thank you guys. Randy, appreciate you being here. Guess what, Randy? We got some What's in My Cup going on. 2 episodes ago, made a little trick. We tricked some people, your man specifically, and we had a hidden object inside the cup. But tonight, there's an actual beverage. Not orange juice. Good guess, though. But keep going. We will start. We said we're going to talk about Labor Day. Are you listening? Everything cool? Are you listening to us?
No, actually, that police scanner app on my phone popped up with some neighbor stabbing, something about stabbing in neighbors.
Not water, Colin. Thank you for being here. Water Team Milk, get him out the way. No. Stabbing, where at? And he's always listening to this police app. In fact, we had an episode one day. We played a whole episode. Basically, listened to.
Wild though.
It was.
That was
what the van at 15 miles an hour being chased down the highway. And
it was such a movie. Like you got to go back and watch it.
Yeah, it was a good episode. But we are always with this thing. We go live. I like live. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't really know. We're not scripted. We don't have any basis. We have ideas of what we're going to talk about, but we feed off our audience. We like to engage with the people in our universe. We've tried to advertise and get our name out there because YouTube doesn't do it for us because we are a little adult. We might curse every now and then, so we get a little inappropriate. Yeah. If you like inappropriate stuff, hold on till the end. About 30, 40 minutes in, we start to get a little weird. But for now,
40, 45 minutes, when the real ones are still
the real people.
What we can say and not say.
We need real people. We don't want you posers, you people that don't know what's going on, have no clue. We want a real group of individuals. Colin and Randy, they've been here quite a while now. We much appreciate the love. So What's in the Cup is a game we play. Randy, we introduced a game last week. We're going to get to in a little bit. Colin, you remember it's called Garble on Google. If you're a new person, you don't know what this is, stay tuned. This is kind of funny because you never know what you're going to get with this one. Wow. The other day, what was it? Miley Cyrus, dirt bikes, and 747s. So there was a lot of stuff going on awesome segment my child came up with. We're going to get to this. What did we were going to talk about? Labor Day.
Labor Day.
If there are 1,000 eggplants on a wall, how many would you choke on? Okay.
For the record, you can't say that.
You can't say that?
Are you sure?
So then, Colin,
Give me 1 second.
we got to wait till 40 minutes, bud. You're already jumping on the cucumber train.
5 minutes in, bro.
We got to
love you, but damn.
we got to keep it low key for a minute. We got to get a little bit of support from YouTube. We need some adverts.
You definitely can't say that.
Fudge pickles.
They definitely do not like the eggplant.
Colin, they're just not loving your eggplant, bro. It's a thing. Can you say the word eggplant?
It's just too much for them.
Can you say the word eggplant?
I hope we can say the word eggplant.
We will never get, since the beginning, wings. It's a weird line. Connection's unstable. We good? Colin, we good? Okay. I bet you have never had complaints about your eggplant. That's what he said. Can you say that?
Well, I've never had any complaints about my eggplant before.
Apparently, you can't say that on television either.
You can say eggplant on television?
No, he just said, well, I've never had any complaints about my eggplant.
No, I got that.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah, you just can't talk
You
about
can't show the eggplant emoji. That's what it is. That's so crazy. Colin, you and your eggplant, man.
So are we ready to go into history?
Labor Day.
Labor Day.
Labor Day was started in 1954 because back then bosses and the higher ups, the man, cared a little bit more about the employee.
Yeah, it was to recognize that people work hard for their money.
People,
And
just like that
deserve
song.
to have fun.
She works hard for the money. Yeah, you deserve a day to celebrate you and all the efforts that you give. And I'm glad they've held on to this one as long as they've held on to it, because we get a day off out of nowhere for no reason. So that is Labor Day.
So I just
He's got something.
researched that Peter J. McGuire, a carpenter and labor union leader, is the whole reason that a holiday exists. Again, to honor.
I knew it had to do with the union.
For sure, but he proposed this in 1882, and of course, government was just like 50 years later. You're still talking about that?
1882. See, even back then, they were trying to fight for civil rights,
Right.
and that was every man. That was no color back then. Well,
That stabbing was in Minnesota, by the way.
oh, Minnesota be stabbing people.
I thought Minnesota was legit. Like,
Well, no, it's full of
I'm
Vikings.
going to Minnesota.
That's a lot of space. There's a lot of space to hide bodies in Minnesota.
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
I think that's what it is. Yes, not everyone gets that day off. Randy got paid time and a half, but because it is a holiday, most people will do the time and a half because it is a government holiday. So that is nice to at least get that benefit. Also, in September, 7 years after Labor Day was introduced as a holiday, the first recorded UFO sighting was cited by, was it Bill and Betsy?
Something like that.
I just call them Bill and Betsy.
But if you've watched any of like the History Channel,
Yeah.
alien documentaries,
Alien.
whatever, I think they're close to episode 1 or something like
Yeah.
that. Like they get talked about for sure. Driving down the highway, smooth tractor beam, up into the fucking spaceship, and
Yeah.
then they're gone for 3 days, and they come back. And
Yeah, and they all feel all proby.
Yeah.
They I think so. Labor Day.
Again, I don't know.
I feel like Labor Day and UFO abductions kind of go hand in hand, right? Because same month, on the same holiday, it's a celebration of time off, hang out with our alien brothers.
Speaking of aliens, audience, what do you think of aliens?
What do you think of aliens? Put it in the comments, you future people. I know there's people coming in the future that might click on this.
Yeah, when you come back, like anything,
Something.
alien, lights.
I can say I saw something sort of. I can't say it was anything off the off the map crazy, but I did see lights pass behind a cloud on a dark night when there were not very many clouds, just like one or two little ones, and they weren't very thick, little bitty off in the distance sky thing, and this light that zoomed across really fast, and it hit that cloud and did not come out the other side. And when you hold your fingers up and it's that big in the sky on that cloud, and that thing hits the cloud and doesn't keep going afterwards, and it was a bright light. It wasn't like beaming or flashing or going crazy, but it was moving fast, and it was kind of far away. But it was just weird. I worked a lot of nights with my father when I was younger, so that's what that was. But that's one of my only real alien.
One night, whole family.
For sure, Randy, we're not the only ones in existence. That's an absolute.
Yeah, we were actually talking about that.
That's what we're talking
There's
about.
No way we're the only ones.
That's so narrow-minded to think that we're the only things in the universe. We're not even the only species on this planet. How impossible universe thought could there ever be? Oh, no, doesn't make any sense.
But anyways, so
this
family gathering, Halloween night. I'm bored listening to Dad's old stories, and I'm looking off in the distance, and I see this light of many colors. And eventually I bring it to everybody else's attention, and I'm like, somebody, what's that?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? So
Right.
we all end up out front with binoculars and technical cameras from 1998, and stuff like that, trying to get a picture of this. But the crazy part is it was changing like every conceivable color in the spectrum as fast as you could possibly change it while still recognizing a change of color.
Yeah.
And it was just wild.
Mm-hmm.
And it never moved. It just sat there.
Yeah.
It was in the same spot. For 2 hours, we sat there and observed this thing. And eventually we're just sitting there meandering amongst ourselves and look back to say something about it, and it's gone.
Yeah, I just feel like they're observing us. It's like we're a zoo, and that's just a family on a vacation. Hey, look at the monkeys, and they just fly by us, and like we're just throwing poop at them. And that's what we do because we're just a bunch of animals, and so they're too intelligent to ever want to make contact with us. We can't even even get along amongst ourselves.
We're
You think?
interested in what dogs want to say to us. So why wouldn't they be interested?
But we're not interested in what the lower class feels like they want to say. We can't even keep our own species in check. Why would any other species ever want to communicate with us? We hate each other for no real reason.
Because the ants want to know how to carry the whole thing back to the home instead of break it down into little pieces and carry it back in a line. Because then, like, a couple of ants could do that, or maybe a small squad instead of millions.
Right. Randy does say, I do believe we're the only ones who can survive this type of environment. I feel if we found life elsewhere, we would have to adapt to their climate and environment, if even possible. I believe that too. I don't think our exact planet is where it has to be for us to be able to exist. And in fact, these animals.
Which, again, we were talking about this before the show. If anybody's ever heard of Universe Sandbox, it's a PC game where you can do anything in the universe that you want to. And I've watched, there's a YouTube channel based off of this game, and I've watched a lot of his videos, and it's just crazy how sensitive the universe is. And, if the Earth was 10 kilograms lighter than, off by 2 degrees in its rotation, there's no way we could exist this long.
Colin even says, think of how big the galaxy is, how many planets there are in our galaxy. Now multiply that by X for each galaxy. Excuse me, for sure. There's no way we could truthfully ever even inhabit our own moon mathematically. I don't think that is a possible thing.
I can't even tell you the mind blow when I found out that there was galaxies. I didn't pay attention in school, so when I was finally watching National Geographic or whatever the hell, Science Channel, and
World Carbon,
they all started talking about galaxies. I was like, galaxies?
Yeah.
You mean the constellations? No, galaxies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, full.
Have you seen that full map of the whole
Isn't our galaxy?
We're over here, and then
what is our galaxy?
The Milky Way.
Yeah.
The Milky Way galaxy. Yeah.
So.
And there's more planets in our galaxy than we can even count.
Oh yeah, to hop over to the next galaxy is like thousands upon thousands of years.
And that'd be the other thing too. Even if we could communicate with another, we can't travel at that level. They would have to be able to travel at that level to get here because that's.
Hey man, I really want to buy your guitar, but I need you to drive it to me. I'll give you an extra $5.
Yeah, the gas in outer space. Gas in outer space has got to be cheap. Cheap. Gas in outer space has got to be cheap.
What can they have? We have to offer them something that's got to be galactic.
Well, they would. Are they buying the guitar? Or are we selling the guitar? What? Who's buying the guitar?
They want your guitar.
They want
and you
music.
You got to convince them not to take it from you.
We want time travel. They want music. That's what it is. We do have some pretty good music.
We wouldn't know what to do with time travel.
Oh no! And again. Okay, so I thought.
What's the first thing somebody's going to do? Just randomly think off the top of your head. A fancy scientist invents a time traveling machine. What's the first thing that happens?
He's going to break the time space continuum, and the Earth is going to fall into a black hole. Can you imagine finding life on another planet and we've named it and called it for many years, finally communicate with that life, and like, no, you're way off. That would be pretty good. Our moon is a sad boy. All the other planets' moons have names, but we just call our moon Moon. That is pretty funny, Randy. Good point. Yeah, that would be good to find another planet. They're like, we're not called Gregarious 9 assholes. This is what we are. Yeah.
Let's just call the moon Moon.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That is good. We do call the moon Moon. Good job.
It's not. Is it just Earth's moon?
Yeah, it's Earth's moon. It's moon.
All right, now we gotta look.
You think the moon is sad about that? You think the moon?
I don't know if it hasn't. Yeah.
It doesn't have a name. It's Moon.
It's not Moon.
It's the moon.
It's got to be like Sailor Moon.
No, that's where we got Moon. They got Moon. They stole Moon. Like, subscribe, join the conversation. You guys, this is kind of the way it goes. Be a part of the flow, and who knows? You might be one of our bros for sure.
Shit, it just does mean moon.
Yeah.
Even when you translate it, it's still just moon. Like from other stuff.
Our moon is the moon of all moons because it gives us life. This planet has life because of our moon.
Move that by 1,000 miles in either direction, and again, we don't exist.
And we're done. Any other planet, we wouldn't exist. So back to the real quick time travel thing. So I heard one time another theory that kind of negates the possibility of time travel because the way they put it was if you actually moved through space back or forward in time, when you do that, since the Earth is in constant movement, like around, and it's moving throughout the universe, since the universe is constantly expanding, the Earth is never in the same spot twice. So you would ultimately land in outer space at any other point in time because you're starting from right here inside your time travel machine. But this point will never exist at another part in time because the entire planet is never where it once was. Figure that one out, kids. Heard that and I was like, because the Earth is forever expanding, or not the Earth, the universe is forever expanding. So we're constantly being pushed outwards. So even though we're connected to our sun and we're moving with our sun is also moving, which is also moving with.
Do the galaxies move?
Yeah, because they're from the.
Yeah, because we all move.
The whole thing, it's all moving, and so if you traveled in time, you would have to have some sort of universal linear. This.
Do you think there's like a center galaxy, like
the center point of where the happened? I don't want to say the words Big Bang because that's just the tie of word. The initial explosion that set off the universe. Yes, there's a center, but that's. What if Men in Black was real, Randy?
How do we know it's not?
I bet it is.
Like if you really pay attention to movies you watch that are not absolute fiction, and especially when it's scientifically based.
Just because Will
When has
Smith,
it not happened or remotely been proven true in the slightest bit?
there's always some sort of even those. Remember the tabloids? Do you remember real tabloids back when the Lizard Boy and the black and white and it got into color eventually? Esquire, I think it was. What was the name? Randy, Colin, help me out with the name of this. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Was it The Sun? It was the tabloid magazine that was in the 90s that had all the crazy shit around the United States, that aliens and lizard people and all the stuff. Do you know what you see? I can see you thinking in your head. You know what I'm talking about?
I feel like I know exactly what you're
Colin,
talking about.
what am I talking about here? I know you know what I'm talking about because you're a little older than Dave, right? He's a little older. No? You got the same age? No? Colin's younger than you? Colin, you know what I'm talking about? What was this?
Colin's not cultured.
Colin, are you cultured? Randy, what is this? When Google. No. To old tabloids. For old tabloid magazine from the 90s. Google that. But yeah, it was just a bunch of conspiracy theories that were, Bigfoot sightings and Loch Ness Monster sightings and all this crazy stuff. Dragons and fairies, stories of the great beyond. You see what I'm talking about? It was taken off the shelf because it was full of crap and people were angry. The Inquirer. Yes, that's what it was. Inquirer. Thank you, Randy. That thing. That was a magazine, children. Yeah, I don't know if you know what a magazine are. Newspapers?
Yeah, they still
Newspapers don't.
Vogue still exists. All that stuff still exists.
Back when people wanted information, they used to read it off of paper with words that were printed.
What? What is print?
Print.
You mean like how many copies?
Like a lot. 50. And then there was news and sometimes things for sale. It was Google before Google was Google. It was the newspaper. And the Inquirer.
Matter of fact, you want to talk about the original Craigslist?
The yellow.
What did you do back in the day?
The yellow pages?
Yeah. You wanted to sell something.
Yeah, yellow pages.
You put it in the classifieds.
Oh, the classifieds, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it just classifieds?
Yeah, it's like classifieds.
And you had the
I think
paper word.
RVs and like auto was
Yeah, there was an auto section, but that's how if you want to buy a car, you roll to the newspaper and then you highlight it, and then you called them on their phone that was at their house.
In the newspaper, hey, I'm going to put a bunch of stuff out in front of my house next Friday.
Oh yeah, yard sales.
Hey, I just put a bunch of shit out in front of my house. Come get it.
Yeah.
Next Friday there will be stuff out in front of my house to give it a whole week to reach people before they just put stuff out in front of their house.
The Inquirer was sold for $100 million.
I believe it.
To who?
Anybody. It made money.
Yeah. It did with all its conspiracies and all its Bigfoot pictures and all the. You can send in your own stories. You can get it printed in the magazine if you had something. It was always on the shelf. But yeah, it was too much falsities. James Cohen. Like the Cohen brothers Cohen? That's interesting. I could see that. But yes, our moon, I do not believe, is inhabitable. And the only thing that I'm thinking. Nice. Hudson News Air. Thank you, Randy, for looking this stuff up. See, our audience is fantastic. You future people come in. This is how we want. We want real people engaging in conversation and just feeding us information and leaving us feeling fantastic. Hudson News. I don't believe our moon is inhabitable because I feel like if you put any extra weight on it, would it not throw it off its axis or like its trajectory around the planet? Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure scientists have figured this out because why in the world would you try to do some stupid shit like try to put stuff on the moon without making sure it's not going to destroy the planet first?
See, I love that while I was away. So, but did we throw off the Earth? Is that why global warming's happening? Not because we have carbon Bullshit.
You want me to throw you some conspiracy shit?
I love conspiracy shit.
Look this up. I think it was back in 2006 or 2007. There was a tsunami in the Indian Ocean that was reported. I believe I read an article. Look it up. Fact check me. But that it said it threw the Earth 3 degrees off its axis in one direction or another. No?
Pretty sure that was like proven.
Incorrect.
Because I think any amount is bad. It's such a finite window. I don't think there's a tolerance there. It's 0.00000000001.
That did actually do that. But if you've noticed ever since that year, that's this one, especially down here in this area where we live, the weather has shifted. I mean, we got snow in May that one year. Like it doesn't get cold anymore till like January, February. I used to have Christmas or like snow in October, November.
We did say that a couple of years back. Me and Tisha, we were like,
what
happened?
Everything has shifted
during Christmas.
Now I get it. Maybe that was proven incorrect, but ever since that tsunami, look at the weather. It's just shifted a couple months. It's been weird.
I know that
it would have to have a lot of mass.
You know what? I think the world actually naturally shifts on its own.
Again, because we're moving through the universe. Eventually, this whole planet's not even going to exist. I mean, it's going to be a long time, potentially, unless we just screw it up or blow ourselves up, which that's a lot more likely than us getting hit by something in the universe, apparently. But okay, so we'd have to put a lot of stuff on the moon to make it spin incorrectly. Okay.
So.
Okay, I can go with that.
You basically have to put like a rocket stick on it.
Yeah, 2009. That's when we had that huge one with all the power and the explosions of all the power outages and all that down here. I remember that. I almost got hit with a stick. I almost got stabbed like with a stick. It was crazy. It was like a 2-second window. It was nuts. This was nuts.
Was that the same year the ice storm?
Yeah. That was back when I lived with one of my brothers. Back before the
I
children.
just moved here and I was like, is this winter time?
Yeah.
No. Please
Yeah.
tell me, God, no.
But never, since then we haven't had any snow and I miss snow. So I actually like playing in the snow.
Sorry, guys, I ruined it.
I
was like, no, don't let this be true.
He brought his California weather.
Yeah, now if we could just get some nice ocean breezes, you guys wouldn't complain so damn much.
Yeah, it's so hot and humid
we don't
here.
really miss the snow that much.
All right, so we talked about UFOs a little bit, did we? We talked about the first UFO abduction. We talked about conspiracies a little bit. What else? We were going to talk about some other crap.
How did David Blaine really make that elephant disappear?
I didn't see it. Did he? What was the ascension? Was that what he did? He made an elephant disappear?
I do not recall.
Did he do that the other day? Is that the thing he did on YouTube live?
No, what was that ascension thing?
It looked like he was floating like an up with a bunch of balloons.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He just floated in it with balloons?
Yeah, that's magic.
Is it? What I was actually going to do, I thought about this. I was going to do a counter. We're going to go live at the same time he did to see if we could get more views. But I didn't do that because it was in the middle of the day. It never happened. Nobody even gives a crap about this show. Well, nobody knows about the show because nobody's told about this show because YouTube doesn't talk about us because we say naughty words like cucumber or eggplant. What are you looking up? He's looking up something. He's trying to find.
I'm trying to figure out the purpose of this whole balloon.
Randy, what's in my cup? You guys want to do some garble on Google? Randy, you missed it last week. We introduced, or no, last week, the other day, we introduced this new segment, Garble on Google. This came from my child, where he was asking me what happens if you just blah, blah, blah in the Google.
First request, do your worst impression of a mumble rapper. Yeah. Like Google Translate.
Oh, Google Translate that?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Colin's asking me a question.
Unacceptable.
Oh. Video of that guy that Facebook liked him shooting his head off. What? Did y'all see the video of the guy that Facebook liked him shooting his head off? They liked it? Is it carbonated? Yes. Is it carbonated? You said what it was. Yeah.
Where did that go?
No, Colin, I didn't see a video of a guy getting his head blown off.
Oh, man.
He lived.
Damn. How do you get your head blown off and live? Is he a zombie now?
Zombie.
Is the zombie starting?
We can't start zombies yet. We got to get rid of the virus.
No, it's September. We gotta get a move on. We never got zombies.
We don't. Are we on a race to get zombies?
Yes.
It's not Pepsi. It was on Facebook Live. No, I didn't see that. That's horrible. God, see, we can't even get people. I bet you he got more views than we did, didn't he?
Who?
The guy that shot himself.
Oh. Well, yeah, they thought you were the first one. You got a vote.
That's what it is. Remember, I know Colin, Randy, you don't know this, but like
wrong.
the first two episodes, the first episode, I was by myself.
Yeah, first.
I was by myself, and we got over 100 views on each episode. But I think that's because everybody thought I was going to shoot myself live or some crap, and then they realized I'm not going to.
Oh, look at this. Look at this guy. He's going to do it.
So they stopped watching. He's like, oh, he's going to keep talking.
Yeah, like 60 minutes in, he's like, oh, he's really just talking, guys.
He went viral. The cops broke down his door 30 seconds too late. Was it their fault?
I guess it all depends on who you ask.
All right, garble on Google. I'm going to mumble rap. We're going to mumble rap.
Worst mumble rap.
House for show for both.
I'll give it a seizure.
3047 Metro Health for talent show for both. What? See, Google doesn't even understand mumble rap. Institute of Hope. We got the Institute of Hope. This segment is brought to you by the Metro Health Systems and the Institute of Hope. This is for people with issues with non-hope. If you're lacking hope, call the Metro Sexual Health Systems. Wait.
What?
The Institute for Hope by the Metro Health System. That's a horrible one. This is not a good one. See, nothing. This is not working. Hold on.
It's too long.
Here we go. Hilton Palm Harbor to repair your DVR.
Nice. What?
So if you what?
You have a DVR, which is pretty popular nowadays.
The best 10 IT services and computer repair in Palm Harbor. So if you're anywhere near Palm Harbor,
where?
Florida. If you're in Palm Harbor, Florida right now, any of our live audience people in Palm Harbor, Florida, down there, trying to get their computer repair.
Give this guy some love.
There's also the Hilton Garden Inn. So Hilton, you now owe us money because we're promoting you. So
who did that win?
Just now.
Oh.
The Hilton Garden in Florida. So if you catch on, we're promoting you with all of our audience members. They're going to.
Oh, yeah, all four of them.
All four of them.
Come on, audience
members. It just said blah, 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 blah. Oh, and it brought up a song by Kesha.
Oh, my God.
I thought Kesha was black.
They're racist.
No. Yeah. Is it?
Who was that one black country singer you're like, too? What was that?
It was a black country singer? Old Town Road. That one, Billy Ray Cyrus. No. Cypress Hill. No. John Werfter. John Gondorfler. Bertha. Yard sale services. John. Contact Tyler. It says to contact Tyler B.
Yard sale services, John.
Yard service. Oh, my phone just freaked out and turned off because doesn't even know what it doesn't know what it's like. I can't track you anymore. We don't understand your words.
This has never happened before.
This is the first time Google has crashed on Garble on Google.
You crashed Google because
Did I just crash Google? Look it up.
of Garble.
Garble? That'd be amazing.
Sorry, website is down right
now. It says repair.
Definition of repair. Fix or mend.
I think what we need to do is like rip
damage or a fault.
Sims. Well, no, I think
See, we're expanding live. This is how it works, people. The definition of repair, to fix or mend. And just in case our audience didn't know what repair meant. What you got? You think of something? Hey, what's in the cup? It's not Coke, Randy. Can't do drugs live, Randy. A cop showed up in flip-flops? I'm just not reading that.
what? Who did what? Where?
During that shooting thing, the live thing, he showed up in flip-flops. He must have been down the block.
What live shooting thing?
The thing we were just talking about a minute ago. Apparently, some guy went live on Facebook, shot himself.
Oh, could have been his neighbor.
Not root beer. No Dr. Pepper.
Damn it.
Give us a thumbs up. Join the conversation, you subscribers. You people, I have subscribers. I lost one the other week. I haven't still figured out who I lost. I don't know why.
It happens. Sometimes you just lose some.
We don't have enough to lose. That's like if you had $50 and you lost $1. That's a big chunk.
It's not like 100,000. That would be pretty much nothing.
He blew his whole face off with a shotgun. Live.
How mad do you have to be? Like, I don't get it. I guess if that's your only option. I just
Well,
feel
right.
like there's so many much better options than shotgun.
And he survived, though? Good Lord.
And then you have to live with that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I was talking about this earlier, that the show called Preacher, kid shoots himself in the face, misses it up, he's got a butthole for a face. It's a pretty funny premise. It's made after a graphic novel. Oh, he didn't survive. He lost his job, and his girlfriend dumped him and called him. He died, yeah. His head was gone, yeah. Good Lord. Yeah, that sucks. I lost my job and car in like 2 days. And that was like 2 months after losing my cousin and my aunt. And that's 2 years after losing my grandma and my uncle. And that's 4 years after losing two of my grandpas. And that's a decade and a half, no, almost 20 years now after losing my dad. So I understand losing things. I get it. I haven't ever thought about putting a shotgun in my head, though. But I get it. I understand loss. Some people can't handle loss as well as others. Someone stole my son's bike today. Put that cherry on the top of that one. I got more. I can keep throwing them out there. But it's just life. Life sucks a lot of times, but it's so awesome other times. And that's, again, part of the theme of the show. We've always kind of been here to good Lord. His girlfriend called him while he was live, started yelling at him. He hung the phone and shot himself.
Damn. That sucks. So dude was just like,
yeah,
really
he had a mental illness too. And that's usually a lot of what that is too. People can't handle, they have a mental something that they can't handle the day-to-day of losing. I understand that.
Do you think that's a new thing?
What's that?
Anxiety? Do you think cavemen were like
No.
outside
No.
of the normal, I have to eat today, like, oh my God, what's going to happen
No.
if I don't eat today?
In fact, I feel like anxiety was made in like the
You think there was cavemen that
The
couldn't leave the
60s.
cave because they were unsure if they were going to be able to catch anything, so they didn't even go try anyways?
right. It has just slowly gotten more and more accepted to pay so much attention to every soul, to just to express themselves so much that they're letting every emotion out. Sometimes you get an emotional overload, and it is just too much for a lot of people to handle, especially if they do have mental illnesses. And some people just can't go on. So yes, these sad things end up happening. But there was a point, there was time period. Yeah, you dealt with it. You just dealt with. But even back then,
I guess it was around the same time divorce was like normalized.
probably.
You know, back in the day, you only divorced for a serious reason, and at some point, it was just like, you don't like the way his eyebrows are shaped, you can get divorced.
Yeah. Divorce was because marriage was essentially a type of slavery in its infancy. When it started, it was one man selling his daughter
For sure.
to another.
And still is in some places.
Yeah. So I guess there had to be a way to get out of those contracts at some level.
So you think enough people were just like, I don't like this guy,
Yeah.
actually.
Well,
I want out.
Well, women's rights started coming around. I wonder, back in the, the 50s?
Ew.
Are you Ewing women's rights? God, where's the audience right now?
Gone. They all just left. At minute 41, I just annihilated every single one of them.
Yeah, Randy, a while, not too long ago, when women had their period, men would dig a hole in the backyard and make the woman stay in that hole until she stopped bleeding. That was a thing. Like,
I mean, you might as well do it outside in the garden.
Yeah,
Or something.
nutrients in the.
And if it kills the flowers, then you should go to the doctor.
Is that a yeast infection?
Something is not right.
Women used to be just killed for anything. Like white men since the beginning have ruled this planet with an iron fist, and they have to slowly start releasing all its captives, and it started with women, I think, because women's rights were introduced before slavery was ended. Am I incorrect? Look it up. Want to Google that? But so white men had to stop being pricks at some point and start realizing that other people matter too. You political pieces of. Anyway, I'm not speaking for myself because I think it's a disgusting level of power that I will never grasp. The control of others. We're all essentially slaves. And that's what I saw a documentary. I didn't finish the whole thing, but it had to do with the institution. The prisons are essentially just ways to keep people in slavery. It's all just it's all ran by a man. All right, he's going to say something. He looks upset. Which was first? The chicken or the rooster?
The chicken.
The chicken was released from the white man's grasp. The female.
Well, they were allowed to vote.
They were allowed to vote. And that was a big thing.
Like the big thing. That gave them a lot of liberty. 20 though. Yeah.
Yeah, 1920 something.
1920, and it took until like 1964 to be like, maybe we should let those people have some rights. And then they had to have a big ass fight.
The rights movement started 1848, okay, but apparently it didn't start till go through until the 1900s. Yeah, it was 1920. Yeah.
So like women were fighting for their rights
Yeah.
since 1848 and finally got it in
So
1920.
72 years, women fought for their rights. Got it. And then, so the white man had to find another oppression style, which, I mean, he was already in the midst of anyway, with slavery. Slavery was abolished, but it was still not given rights. And even rights were not allowed. And that's what it was. A lot of, okay, slavery was abolished. So what did all black community do? They had to be put into they were put into areas of the world and what they called the projects and these sections, and they were kept from education, and then they were kept from proper nutrition.
So it's right around our time, you know. Like, so if it took women 75 years, and they started in 18 whatever, and finally got started in 1920, and we got freed in 1964 or whatever.
So it was 100 years. He's saying the slavery movement started in 1865, but rights weren't given until way later. And that's Randy said that. And way later is 1964 or whatever. Almost 100 years it took for black people to get rights.
And then, so that was in 64.
And that, you know what, right before the Vietnam War.
Yeah, not too many.
Which they knew was going to happen. So look this up too. Remember South Park? I know it's a big old joke where the scene where the operation Get Behind the Darkies, that was a whole joke. That was a Vietnam thing. They would have their black troops go in first and test things, landmines and such. People kept in some of the projects after the bombings. We did that in the, what was it, 45, 46? They were put in projects too. So again, just
it hasn't even been 100 years yet.
And that was the Japanese.
Like,
yeah, you had the rights to join the army and fight for
it.
us. That's actually exactly right, Randy. So that was the rights that were given to the black man at that point. So they were allowed to go fight for their country that had been oppressing them ever since. So now they're over there fighting, come back, and now they're still in the projects, and segregation starts to slowly loosen up at some point. But then they started having to do, what was the next group? Hispanics? That was the one in the early 2000s. It just,
I think Mexico was just always fighting for their land.
Yeah, is that what it is?
But everybody had to fight for their land that was already here.
The white man has
Europeans,
to oppress somebody. It's like they have to keep some group of something down, or they don't feel like they're a
How
man.
does somebody from Europe think that they are America?
How do they think of us?
Well, because the Spanish explorers, that's where they were from, right?
Right.
So, yeah, they came over here and they were like, I understand it was new territory. Nobody ever explored it at that time.
Right, that we knew of.
Okay, yeah. So, we're going to go over here and nobody's ever been over here that we know of. So we're going to go check it out and try to find a new place. And then you get over there and the park's full.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, shit.
So we got to clear the park.
Yeah, that's what they said. It's, we want to play. We just got to get rid of some of these people.
And they did. So that's where the oppression started.
They started grabbing people off the playground and saying, you're leaving, you're leaving.
Those who were our ancestors, those are the people that started this country off of murder and genocide.
And then you wonder why professional people want to protest by kneeling.
Right. So you got to think that they taught their children the same thing.
For sure.
So they ran out of Native Americans, so they went to another land where those people were oppressing their people as well. Africans sold us. Their degenerates, essentially, is what they did. They sold their people to I don't want to even say us because I had nothing to do with it. The Spaniards or whatever, or the Spaniard descendants.
So in that realm of things, as the African race, especially male, is viewed as bad, and then you stating the fact that pretty much all of those that got sent over here were unwanteds or unmentionables or whatever.
Yeah, they sold.
Just get them out of here type deals most of the time. And I'm sure it wasn't that expensive to buy a truck full of slaves back in the day.
Oh, you're going to look up the price of a boat of slaves?
Yep.
Randy said 1988 when it was at the all-time high, 45% of black people were integrated into white schools. And finally in the 80s. The 80s seemed like it was a pretty chill time. Even bleeding into the 90s, it was still pretty cool. I mean, people were trick-or-treating still and waving at each other and smiling and holding the door and conversating the lines. And still a sense of positivity. Are you tripping now too?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure some shit out.
He's looking up the price of a boat of slaves. But yeah, our history is messed up. Our history is so messed up, but we don't get taught this stuff. I would like to know what Germany teaches their people about what happened. I really do, because now you can't lie with the internet. They can look it up. What are you looking at? What do you got? What do you got?
So the average price in 1860 was $800.
1860, the average price for a human being was $800. Was there a guarantee, like a warranty or something? 30 days. Try it out for a week. If you don't like it, bring it back, get a new one. It's horrible. Why would you say that?
But they did.
So are you saying that that's what they sold them for to the Spaniards?
Something like that.
You're fine, Chad. We've been talking about slavery. That seems like a lot of money back then.
$800.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Back in 1868 for
if you think about
a person,
our greats
greats
getting candy bars for a nickel.
Yeah.
Then $800, 150 years before that's
three times. You're looking at least $2,400 a person now.
Let's see.
Colin, so can you imagine if Britain ever came back and was like, you know what, we're going to try and take back our land? I don't know if they'd win, Colin. Britain seems a little polite to want to try and fight, especially with all these rednecks every night creeping up, shooting you in the ass with their shotties. What you got over there? He's looking at more slavery information. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
So $1 in 1860 was equivalent to $31 today.
So 31 times 800, which would be $24,800. So you look at
$25,000
a person. Now that's
slang.
And you're talking people with plantations of
That's
dope.
a handful of slaves is a Ferrari.
Yeah, they could have got a Bugatti for the price of a six slaves.
A platoon of slaves.
Yeah. No wonder it was such a lucrative business. It's horrible. Human trafficking. See?
And again, that just proves that only the wealthy people were really messed up.
Right. It's the wealthy white people that are doing the horrible stuff. We talked about this
white
too.
People get rich and do crazy shit.
What did I say? What was it last episode when I'm saying yes, it's that white creepy ass dude that is getting caught trying to diddle kids. It's the same. It's just those people with money. It's the same.
Why did the nun do it?
There's a few. There were the black slave owners.
Oh, well.
There weren't that many. There's not a lot of nuns that do it, but there are the handful of randoms in the group of sickos. Yes. We're talking about the Clintons. All of them. They're all the white.
Top five. Fuck the top five.
What is it?
Top five famous.
Yeah, top five. White people. They're all white people. It's all white. because, yeah, that's how it's been, and that's how it will be until we can take out the families. Is that a thing? And they just pass that horrible gene from generation to generation. Now you got shitty little walking around with the same mentality, and that's why today's top people are 150 years ago slave owners, because
All right.
that's what they've been bred into.
I'll let you take a guess on the number one richest family
Number one richest family in America.
right now.
I wouldn't know a name. Not at all.
Hint. We are very close.
Close to the Walmart's people.
Yeah.
That's the number one richest family in America is the Walmarts. No shit.
And then number two is Mars family.
The what family?
Mars.
Like the
Literally
Mars-
like the planet Mars.
Like Mars bars, probably.
We won't go into details, but just the 10 families that are the richest people in the world, and I guarantee you they all sit down at lunch every weekend. So 3 is the Koch brothers. 4 is Al Saud.
Yeah.
5 is some W word I definitely can't pronounce.
Weinstein.
They own Chanel.
Okay.
6 is the Dumas family. 7 is Von Dame and some other bunch of others. Belgian stuff. They're brewers. Number 9 is out of Asia, Rakesh. And then you got Cargill was number 10. And
Jeff Bezos is worth $200 billion.
Well, he's in one of those families. Then.
Isn't he the Amazon guy? But doesn't what's his name? The guy that owns Virgin Records. What's his name? Isn't he richer than Bezos? If you future people have made it this far, Chad, I know you ended up at the end of the episode. No big deal. Go back. You want to watch some funny shit. Watch it from the beginning. Richard Branson? No. What's the guy that owns Virgin Records? He sounds like he's a music singer name.
Bezos is independently wealthy.
Independently wealthy. So he's not considered in the top 10 families. He's just independent. But he's one of the top 10 independently wealthy. Warren Buffett. That's the name I'm trying to think of. Isn't Warren Buffett worth more than...
Remember, that was a list of families.
Right. But he's independently wealthy too, whatever.
But you gotta imagine, like,
What's Warren Buffett do?
10 wealthy individuals and 10 wealthy families are always going to trump independence.
Running all these little rings of all these horrible people.
I think that's how it works. I think, like, you're just automatically
Bill
invited.
Gates is 100. His investments. Okay, yeah. That's right.
That's right, yep. He capitalized on a very good moment.
And
he
then
said he was born in 64 there, so.
what's Elon Musk?
He's just a genius.
Is he?
He's pretty fucking smart.
Yeah. Well, most geniuses are pretty crazy.
I mean, he made a rocket that can land on a tiny pad in the middle of the ocean.
Most
That's all. No big deal.
68 billion.
Creates flamethrowers because he's bored. Now it's creating underground tunnels where cars. I heard a funny meme though. It was all like, so when you miss your Tesla payment, does it drive itself back to the dealership?
We'll return shortly. You guys,
Please make payment.
you have been super fantastic, Randy and Colin. Thank you, like always, for being here and engaging us. You're our main source of back and forth. You are the wall to my racquetball. Chad, thanks for hopping at the end. I appreciate you. I know you missed it. No big deal. He's always throwing good information out to us. You future people, if you want to be a part of this live thing, please come back on the live show. Get a like, subscribe on there so you know when we're going live, because even sometimes we don't know.
Right.
We just kind of do it. That's our thing. But appreciate it. You guys, we'll see you. Let's see, maybe this weekend, because I don't know if I have my boy. We'll see. Maybe Saturday we'll do an episode or something. We'll figure it out. You guys have been great. Randy, Chet, Colin. We'll see you next time. And remember, the only you need to be is you.
live it fully every day.
Oh, is that creepy? Is that right up in their face? You guys are awesome. Peace out. I don't know. I think it's ended.